I'll read. So in this video, part 3, I'm going to try and go through some back testing to see and changing parameters to see if we can get more favourable results for the January, February, March and April periods of this year when it looks like the markets made the Dark Venus unprofitable. But what I thought I'd just start with is it's Friday morning, 10:30ish. I just thought I'd start with this because the price of the Euro USD has took a significant drop yesterday. And as you can see on this chart here, I'm circling, it's done a number of buys as the price dropped. You can see it's dropped from like 111 up there down to like under 110 here. In fact, I think it's dropped to 109 at some point. But as you can see here, it's put in a number of consecutive buys. I'm not sure if I can show that any better. But you can see them down here, and now they're totaling minus $178. So as you can see here, our account balance is still showing us 654. But if we sold all these losing positions off now, we'd be 179 worse off, which would take us down to 474 here. So this is quite interesting because I think my theory is this is probably similar to what happened in April time and the start of the year. And it's going to be interesting to see how all these positions recover. It's still actually buying, as you can see here. It bought the 28th and the 28th there, so it's made 2 purchases today. I think these times are 2 hours ahead. So this would have been 9 o'clock and this would have been 8:30 in the morning. I'm not sure why they're 2 hours ahead. I might have some settings incorrect, but I don't suppose it matters too much from my demo purposes. I will need to sort that out for live though. So as you can see, if I scroll up here, the bottom 2 there are in profit. So we bought at 109,614. So obviously it's a bit higher than that. You can see in this 1 hourly chart for Dark Moon the way it's dropped as well, down, and then recovered a little bit, but it's actually dropped again. So obviously Dark Venus is still buying on the fact that if it does climb back up to where it was, then you're going to make profit on all of these, especially the lower ones. You may not make as much, or you might take some losses on the higher ones. That's assuming it recovers though. So that's why it's going to be interesting, because I want to see how long it holds these positions for as well, how long it keeps them open, because Dark Venus typically hasn't held positions open for days. But then again, if we haven't seen this downturn, I don't suspect it would in any case. But if I scroll up this list, you can see like the top ones, this position was opened on the 27th. So all the 27th, except for the bottom 2, it just kept buying and buying and buying yesterday as the price dropped. So that'll be interesting. And also when I'm doing some back testing, say close at the end of the month, I know it's the 28th today, I'm planning on doing some back testing Saturday and Sunday when the markets are closed. It's probably going to be a little bit easier. Well, not necessarily, but I'm doing it while the market's closed, so it's not updating these figures all the time, constantly. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that because that's the first time that's happened while I've been using it for like over a month now, or that dramatically anyway. Dark Moon obviously held a few negative positions at one point, but that's because the price was rising. It seemed to do the opposite. It had sold a lot and the price was rising, so that held open positions while it was waiting for it to drop back down. So I'll just flick over and show you the same situation in my MT5 demo. So this is the same scenario in MetaTrader 5 then, where I had to deposit £100,000. I think it was pounds or euros, pounds I think. And you can see here the graph looks a lot better actually. You can see exactly what's happening. So obviously this was this was pretty early on the 27th, which was only yesterday. The price there at the top was like 111.483, and down here at the bottom it's been down to about we bought there at 109.506. So there's been a massive downturn. But as you can see, as it done the downturn, it bought once, twice, three, four, five, 6, 7, and then it tottered around a bit. That was late on yesterday. Well, yesterday afternoon to yesterday evening. It kind of tottered around that point for a bit, and it started dropping again. So it done another 3 buy trades, and then it went up. So these 2 were in profit at that point, and then this third one became in profit at some point when it reached up to about here, and then it's dropped again this morning. So this was early this morning here, and then this morning it's dropped again down to there. It recovered a bit, and that's dropped again. And as it dropped again, it's made another 2 purchases, another 2 buys, and then it's gone back up a bit. So at the minute, we're at a loss for all of these ones along at this end, or maybe not that one. Oh yeah, you can see we're at a slight loss on that one, £1.17 on that one, which isn't a great amount of money when we've got £100,000 bank. But the fact is, these 2 are the only 2 in profit at the moment, because the price has now climbed back up to here, which is the current price. This graph's a lot easier to look at and see than understand than MT4, which I quite like. I might be able to get this on MT4, but I'm not sure how, because every time I try and adjust the graph in MT4, it doesn't look very good. It doesn't show at all. So as you can see here, these are the 2 profitable ones, which is the very latest one that we made the trade on at 11 o'clock and 10:30. It's the same 2 trades as on MT4, actually the same times, 10:30 and 11 o'clock, even though it's only half 11, because like I say, the time on this one's still 2 hours out as well. I'm probably using European plus British summertime and making it 2 hours out instead of going the other way and making it equal. So you can see all these negative trades then. So if I scroll down to the bottom of here, we're running at minus £105 here. Which you can see here, our account balance is £100,008, and the equity is only 99,897. So we're running an actual loss of 112 if we sold all these positions off now. I mean, in an ideal scenario, this price will rise back up to here at least and sell all these off at a profit. All these ones here that I'm circling around. But even if it goes halfway up, I suspect it'll start selling off these lower purchases to make profit and then just keep hold of the negatives. But if I go to the top of this list, you can see that all the ones are quite, we're in for like 20 odd quid here and there, but they all add up to a total of £112 at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what it does with this, how long it holds them for, and how the price changes. I mean, if it drops again, am I expecting it just to keep buying? Probably, and that's where it might falter, the strategy. And it's also going to be interesting when I do start the back testing now, is to see whether there's any way of circumventing this and like getting around losing so much. That's what remains to be seen, whether we can change any of the parameters to actually make a profit in sort of January, February, March, April, when this kind of scenario happens. I will try and see if I can get back to the charts in back testing as well. I don't know if that's possible to see what the price is, how the prices drop when we actually lost substantial amounts. When you look, if you remember the last video when I did do some testing for January, February, March, April, how we actually, the graph just plummeted at the end because there was a lot of outstanding negative trades like this. So obviously, if we've done the same graph in back testing, which I'll do now, we'll go through to like the 27th of July and we'll see how it drops off at the very end. Okay, so let's move on to back testing then. Right, so it's Saturday morning. I was just about to start doing back testing. I've noticed that all of the orders that were in yesterday have gone, so it's settled all those. So I just wanted to run through and try and show you what it's actually done. You can see our account balance is now 695, which is 40 or 41 above where it was yesterday. So it's actually got out and still made a profit. You can see from the bottom of this chart here, it done a sell there. And these linked hashed lines are the orders that it actually sold off. So it sold off about 5 or 6 at the same time. Can't really see from this chart, but I'll show you on MetaTrader 5 in a minute, which I think looks a lot better for charting purposes. But if I go to the account history here on this screen, you can see here the 28th, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders there, 3 sells and 2 buys. So I'm assuming it was the last sell one. No, it wouldn't have been the last one because I've done a couple more since. It was the third last one. If you look on there, there's 1, 2 since, so it's this third one here. So it actually did get out at a £45 profit. Even though some of the buys were higher, there was some that were a lot lower. And I can't seem to adjust this chart. So you can see here I've adjusted a little bit. You can see when we sold out there, it got out of this one, this one, this one. There's about 3 or 4 to profit. And I'll show you that better on MetaTrader 5. I'll show you the same instance. So you can see here the same example on MetaTrader 5, and the chart's a lot easier to read because there seems to be more of it on the screen and everything. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's probably as well because I've got 2 graphs on MetaTrader 4. However, you can see here this is the sell point where we sold off. You can see the hashed lines. We sold off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 buys. Because you can see the price dropping here every time it drops so far. It buys some more on the basis at some point it's going to go back up. So you can see when we sold here, we bought down here. So we'll have made good profit on this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one, and then that looks about level, or maybe a slight profit. And then this one's a slight loss because we bought all these ones are losses because we bought them higher. But it's sold them all off together for a profit. And I can show you this down here. So if you look at the time of, it was 13:40 yesterday. You can see there's a profit there of £35, which would have been this bottom one here because that's the most profit. This £27 would equate to that one. The plus 17 profit would be this one. Then we've got 11 and then £5.86. And then that's a 93 pence profit there because we bought slightly lower than what we've sold it, very slightly lower. And then this one's the first loss, so that's your minus £2.48. This will be your minus £13.44. Then there's 4 more losses. So if I move up this list, so you can see there, and it's still all these transactions were made at 13:40 because it was just selling them all off at the same time. So you can see there's our losses for these ones up here, and then we've got gains, profit for the ones down here. So if I tot these up, that's 22, 36, 50, 63, about a 65 loss. And then if you add up the positives, we're looking at, so 65 loss, we're looking at about 35, 50, 62, 69, 79, 80, 90, about say 95, 96 profit. So you can see how that works then. And then we've had a couple of buy and sell since, which are these 3 transactions at the top, and they were sold off. They were sold off yesterday at a profit of about £1 or £1.50 or something if you add those 3 transactions up. Okay, so even after this price drop, the bot's still making profit. So it hasn't really helped me in sort of to tell me what went wrong in sort of the first 4 months of the year when the back testing shows negative. So we're going to get on to back testing now because it's Saturday morning, the markets are closed, there's going to be no more orders being put in until Monday morning. So let's finally get on with the back testing then. Okay, so after spending too many hours this weekend trying to backtest everything on MT4 and MT5, I was just getting loads of different results. A lot of them as well, they just drop off at the very end where you've got outstanding losing orders. So I couldn't really get to grips with the differences. I should have probably stuck to MT4 or MT5. So what I eventually did is, because I want to get started open run for tomorrow, I know I'm probably rushing into it too much, but I'm not risking too much money, and I'm also not risking more money than I can afford to lose. I'm just going to use a set file that I downloaded off the internet, and the set file is specific to using Dark Venus on Euro, USD exchange currencies with a small holding, so i.e. a small value account. And so I'm using this company called Ava Trade as the broker. Now, I did also look for information on the best UK Forex broker to use for beginners and small holding accounts, because I only plan on putting 100 quid into this thing, which I've done. So Ava Trade was recommended as one of them. There was City Index as well, but I went with Ava Trade because they had the app on the Play Store was a little bit, well, it was quite a bit better. I think it's City Index, the app, only got about 2.5 on the Google Play Store, whereas Ava Trade got 3.5 or 3.8. They've also got a copy trading app as well, which I was quite interested in, which I'm not using yet because I'm going to maybe look at that or eToro going forward. But to get this going, then I've signed up with Ava Trade. You have to send them your documents, like either your driving license or your passport, just a photograph of it, and they approve it within an hour or two. So I've done that. So the only issue I did have with Ava Trade after I signed up with them was it kind of forced me down the MT4 route, the MetaTrader 4 route. So I'm going to go on to that now. Right, so this is the MT4 for Ava Trade. You basically download it from their website. So you can see it's kind of branded to them. Done the same with IC Markets. I've got an MT4 with them, and the MT5 I'm using is with MetaQuotes. So first thing I've done then was install Dark Venus. You can see there it's just opening the market there, and you can see it there. So now what I need to do is drag Dark Venus onto my chart, which I've already got open, which is a Euro USD 15-minute chart. So I'll drag that on there, and as you can see, these are the settings it's going to use. You can see that money management's false. So what I want to do is I need to load in my settings, which is where the set file comes in. So if I go to my downloads folder, that should be there, and you can see it there. So if I open that up and click OK, that should have applied that set file. Okay, so auto trading switched on there. We've got a little green smiley face here, so that's trading now in live with my £100 here. So we'll see how that goes. That's about it in a nutshell for this one. I will give you some updates probably on Discord rather than just doing videos showing the latest numbers. Probably just take a copy of this screen or the transactions or whatever, but we'll end up getting the account history in here. You can see the balance I paid, £100 there earlier today, 3:15. Yeah, so that's ready to rock and roll. We're all excited to see what happens tomorrow with this one. Okay, thanks a lot now. Cheers, Canny.